Welcome back to the Nottingham Forest save on FIFA 22. We're in some okay form, struggling against the big side still, but certainly holding our own. We'll actually be playing against one of the big sides again today. It's Arsenal. Obviously, just the way the fixtures have fallen mean that we simmed United, but didn't want to only play 2 games yesterday with Newcastle and Villa, so we played Tottenham. Didn't go well. West Ham away to start, then Arsenal at home before a trip down to London ourselves to play Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. We'll be heading towards the January transfer window, where we'll be taking on board all of your suggestions and getting stuck in with some signings here at Nottingham Forest. We've already confirmed 2, of course, with Biancone joining us and Niakate joining us. They will both come in on January the 1st. So we'll go as far as January the 1st today and actually get them into the club. Starting though with West Ham away. They're around us in the table. Arsenal actually are around us as well, although there's a bit of a gap, as you see. There's kind of a step from 12th to 11th of 3 points and 4 points to West Ham, whereas if you go 3 and 4 points below us, you get all the way down to 18th. 3 points to gap to the relegation zone. We are not out of a fight. We're better placed than a number of others in the relegation fight, but we're absolutely not out of a relegation fight whatsoever. Our goal difference is about the same as the majority of those below us. It's actually worse than Villa, Leeds and Southampton. Level with Palace. It's only Brentford that are really struggling with their goal difference at the minute. Theirs is the second worst in the league, despite being up in 14th place. 30 goals conceded, only worsened by 37 goals conceded by Bournemouth. We've conceded 29. Not great. 0-0 draw against Aston Villa in the last game yesterday. Held us just above them, but you can see how tight it is. We're still very much in a relegation fight, despite the lofty initial look of a 12th placed position in the league. If we win against West Ham, we can close the gap and actually maybe think about potentially pushing towards the top half for the second half of the season, and I hope that will happen with the transfers we're going to make in January. But ahead of that, please make sure you drop the video a like. Your continued support on this save has been absolutely brilliant, and we're having a wonderful end of FIFA year, and hopefully you will continue to enjoy this save for the entirety of it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and you won't miss an episode. Really appreciate the support from all of the incoming Forest fans. Thank you very much indeed. Taiwo Awoniyi was terrific yesterday, and now the second top goal scorer in the league as well with 12 goals. Right on Mo Salah's heels. Dele Alli with 11 as well. Don't ask. Bruno Fernandes on 11, Kane, Rafinha and Barnes with 10 too. Some surprising players up there at the minute in the top goal scorer charts, but we'll try and get some goals of our own today and actually put the ball in the back of the net. I'll go and make sure that West Ham are playing everybody where they should. It looks like actually it might be a half-decent lineup there with regards to everybody in the right position, but we'll just double check. I'm not sure if Flashits is a cam or a slightly deeper centre mid. Regardless, like, sub, let's head into game. 4-2-3-1 for the Hammers. New permanent now signing Alphonse Areola in goal. Kufal, Dawson, Zuma, Cresswell, Soucek and Rice. Bowen, Vlasic out on the left with Fornals at cam. Did need to swap those two around. And then Michail Antonio up top. Some quality on the bench, although not a full bench of players that could make a difference. If Armstrong Okoflex comes off and not off the bench and wins the game for West Ham, I know I've had a bad day. Changes Larea in on the right hand side of midfield and Mbeso in at centre back for just tired players as we manage the squad throughout the course of this busy Christmas period. Let's try and get some points at the London Stadium. Was at an F1 event around the corner from the London Stadium yesterday in Stratford. Yesterday as of recording, not yesterday as of you seeing this. Still very much aching after using the wheel, to be honest, but hopefully we'll be able to power through. Cresswell quickly into Fornals. It's Declan Rice making the forward run. Well, he couldn't have gotten much more lucky with the way it fell back to him, and then he couldn't have got much more unlucky with it cannoning back down off the crossbar. West Ham nearly taking an early 1-0 lead with an excellent effort from Pablo Fornals. Looking for... I mean, that is so poor. It's so poor. Fornals was the option here of Jarrod Bowen. Don't let him in on his left. He's forced out wide here, Jarrod Bowen. He's had a wonderful season IRL for West Ham in the season just gone. And if he can replicate that sort of form next year as well, then I fully expect him, or at the beginning of next year as well, I fully expect him to be called up for the World Cup. Having to rely on Henderson again to make the save there. Bowen just delayed and delayed and delayed. And I was like, are you going to take a shot? Are you going to play a pass? I've no idea what you're going to do. Declan Rice put that straight in the stand. That was awful. Umbeso is calling for out there. Larea quickly into our knee, and Larea will go again. He's in behind Cresswell here, with men in the middle to try and pick out someone he might. Kurt Zuma rises well. Pablo Fornals trying to... Oh, they've got the extra man over here as well, and then they've switched it quickly for Antonio. This is going to be brilliant for West Ham. What a save! Oh my God! Dean Henderson! Incredible. Just as good as West Ham's build-up was. How good a save is this? Because that had some incredible shot power on it from Antonio. And fingertip stuff on the inside the post. They hit the bar as well. Off the inside of the post. Hits the underside of the bar. And out. Save of the season from Dean Henderson. That was absolutely nutty. If we get any points from this game, it is absolutely down to him. That was mental. Bowen to Fornals. The obvious is Bowen again. Yates is going to come across to this. Antonio's in space again. McKenna's in the way. I didn't have the space or time to do anything with that. McKenna in the way. And, well, that was supposed to be a full clearance, but never mind. It has come away. Hayder will ping that out wide. And Larea will try and build something down this right-hand side. He's been a good go-to, actually, Larea on the right. Just as Brennan Johnson normally is too. Good positioning. Forward in, looking for Tyro. Holds it up beautifully. He's getting better at that. And Lolly will find a Hayder. A Hayder will look for Lewis Grabban through the middle. And all I needed was that final pass. And I would have trusted Lewis Grabban's finishing there to find the back of the net. I am looking forward to getting another striker alongside Tyro up top. To hopefully have two go-to goal scorers that we can rely on multiple times a season. But Lewis Grabban certainly hasn't looked out of place in this Premier League side so far. Just hasn't necessarily scored quite as many goals as I needed him to. Okay. Working it about nicely. Lolly's not done anything for a little while, has he? We've been... Oh, naughty from Thomas Souček. Yellow card. Unsurprising. We've not... Yeah, Lolly normally does quite a bit for us. We went through a spell of doing really well. Tyler Cook is left-footed, though. That's the only thing. I really fancy being able to whip this. Can we try and dig something out? Yes, we can. Awani can't get there, though. Can Hayder win that? And he's only little. Tyler Cook. I wanted to change to Tyler Cook because he stood right underneath it and he's 6'5". Made me sprint at it with Larea. Never mind. It's building nicely. And I don't have a runner on the outside. Now we do. Larea drives round the outside. We'll stand it up. Did that come off Cresswell? It did. It will be a corner. They're making a change, I think, here. It's delayed a little bit. Fornals off and Lanzini on for them. Lolly will deliver. I don't know if we've scored a corner at all so far this season. But Lewis Grabban just came very close. Lolly will try again. Keeper stayed on his line. Souček underneath it. Hayder will chase this down. I'm trying to sprint. Nobody's going to get there. I had two players trying to get to that ball, and neither of them could get there first. Here's Kofel. Half an hour to go. We had a 0-0 against the side in claret and blue to end yesterday. Are we about to have a 0-0 against the side in claret and blue to begin today? Potentially. I'd rather take a 0-0 than a 1-0 defeat. Obviously. Lanzini to Vlasic. And Antonio brings that down. Oh, not really the space to stand a chance of scoring, but he gave it a good bloody go. Alex Mighton is knackered on the left-hand side. So we will bring on Brennan Johnson now. Big switch. Poorly played, big switch. Poorly taken touch, though, from Cresswell. And at the back post, waiting. Oh, it's Nuno da Costa. Brennan Johnson straight into the arms of Areola. If Nuno da Costa had overhead kicked that into the back of the net from there, I might have actually gone berserk. That would have been insane. And then hands down the best goal of the season without any shadow of doubt whatsoever. Worried about them playing the ball back inside here, and they have done. And Rice, Souček, Dino again. I think we might have to ensure that we make that deal permanent, mightn't we? When it comes to Dean Henderson after this season. Here's Okaflex. We might have to artificially make it permanent, and you guys have had some good ideas actually in the comment section about how we go about making that signing permanent for Dean Henderson. Antonio back there to Lanzini, intercepted by Cook. I'll mention it more at the beginning of an episode in January, or even just wait till next season to actually flesh out that idea. But certainly like what you guys are saying about Dino in the comment section. Thank you for the feedback. It's certainly something I could consider. Right, a header into Lolly. Come on, let's win it late. We have been known to pick up a late winner. Brilliant from Souček, though. West Ham are just a little bit too good defensively, I think. Don't you even think about it, Declan! Tell you what, where would I be without Dean Henderson? Rock bottom of the bloody table, probably. Ben Rama coming off the bench for them. Okaflex with the corner. Lanzini picked up a knock, so I think they're having to sub off someone they subbed on. But it doesn't matter in the end. We get a 0-0 draw against Aston Villa in claret and blue yesterday, and it is the same result against the team in the same colours today. And they bossed that. You can see how creative they were. 12 shots, West Ham. 4 for me, though. It's not like I didn't create anything. I just couldn't find a way past Areola, unfortunately. But we'll absolutely take the point. Although, we slipped further down the table, down to 15th now. And the gap is still 3 points to Southampton. If Leeds win their game in hand, albeit it's going to be against Arsenal, Spurs or Liverpool. Let's have a scroll up. It's going to be against Arsenal at Ellen Road. If they win that, then we'll drop down the table even further. Some scout reports coming back on a couple of winger suggestions. Maxwell Cornet, in fact, a couple of winger suggestions, both from Burnley. 77 rated Dwight McNeil or 78 rated Maxwell Cornet. Maxwell Cornet, by far the better player, that's for sure. But Dwight McNeil is younger and English. Being an English team, of course, we might prioritise some domestic talent. Young English players to go with young English Joe Worrell, or is he Welsh? No. McKenna's Scottish, I think. Yates is English. We've got quite a bit of young English talent in this side. Obviously, Brennan Johnson as well, young and Welsh. And Alex Myton, young and English. Young British players, should we say, rather than young and English. And certainly, we'd like to potentially keep with that theme if we're able to bring in Dwight McNeil as well. Certainly what I'm thinking of doing, although, again, I'm recording this before you guys have seen the episode where I ask at the beginning of the video. Episode 4, I think it is. No, 5. No, 4. Episode 4, I ask you guys for winger suggestions. Dwight McNeil and Maxwell Cornet were suggestions from episode 3 that I have seen prior to recording this video. Maxwell Cornet does offer options in a number of different areas as well. And he'd actually be very, very good in the formation that we play, wouldn't he? Because he's good in the tackle too. Maybe we do go a little bit more... Is Dwight McNeil good in the tackle? He's not. Maybe we do go a little bit more international. Forest have gone more international with the signings that they've made so far in this window, haven't they? Obviously, Dino is English, but bringing in the French Biancone and Niakate, albeit that's not too international. France is right over the English Channel. I'll gauge what other options you guys have given me anyway in the comment section of episode 4. Right, next for us, we're back at home, but it is Arsenal, so it's going to be really tough. But thankfully, everyone should be back fully fit again. 4-4-1-1 for Arsenal. They're not having a great season. They're sat like 9th or 10th, aren't they, in the table? At least they were prior to the previous match day. Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, Ben White, Kieran Tierney. On the right, Xhaka. No, rephrase. On the right, Saka. On the left, Martinelli. In the middle, Xhaka and Thomas Partey. With Ødegaard at cam and Gabby Jesus at striker. By default, it's reading Gabby Jesus as a right winger that also has a secondary position of striker. So I'm not sure how much first team football he's actually getting, Gabby Jesus. He was on the bench or maybe even in the reserves when we loaded up the game. So I had to, not loaded up the game, but you know what I mean, went into the pre-game team management menu. So I popped him on up top as he should be. We've got El Neni, Pepe, Holding, Smith Rowe, Nketiah, Bellerin and Vieira on the bench. Smith Rowe and Vieira were in the reserves as well. Pepe was starting on the right, and obviously Saka would start ahead of him. And they had Eddie Nketiah at striker, which is probably why they are where they are in the league, because they're not playing people they should be, but whatever. Cafu is into the starting lineup for today. Nuno da Costa starts up top as well. Other than that, full strength everywhere else. Not that that isn't full strength, technically. You'd say Nuno da Costa up top is more full strength than Lewis Graben, but regardless... We have a team ahead of us that usually playing our colours. They're in their away strip today, and hopefully we can make them feel like they're playing away from home, create quite a hostile atmosphere here at the City Ground, turn it into a bit of a fortress, and pick up some more points. Saka trying to burst past the man, but he might have McKenna for pace, but he's certainly not going to have him for strength. Through there is Tyro. Early shot, good save. Would it fall for Lolly? He tried, wouldn't quite rebound for him. Really good chance there, and it's an excellent stop by Aaron Ramsdale. Cook out wide to Brennan Johnson. Utilising that pace, but Kieran Tierney is quick too. Quick to dive in. Oh, and get himself sent off. We've had more red cards in the first half of this season than I think we did in 9 seasons at Cambridge. Certainly in the 4 seasons at Barca. Teams just can't help themselves this year. I want to try and pass this to the edge of the box. There, I wonder if I could just get that to Alex Mighton on the edge of the box. We can. Now, can Mighton shoot from here? Was worth a go, but well held by Ramsdale. Right, now they've not got a left-back. Will they adjust? Newcastle didn't in the last episode, and it cost them. We'll see if Arsenal will do the same. Even with 10 men, though, they are still going to be capable enough of getting the victory here. We're still going to have to be absolutely vigilant at the back because they have such quality in the offensive third. Hit an arm, but play continues, and Thomas Partey's effort was awful. So far, I can't seem to create anything because they keep winning it off me. Thomas Partey into Gabby Jesus. Ødegaard with a lovely flick. Thomas Partey could play through Martin Ødegaard again. It's a good save by the keeper. Saka elects not to shoot. Oh, it's brilliant from Arsenal. It's absolutely superb from Arsenal. And that is a very Arsenal-esque goal. Martin Ødegaard is the man that buries it. But it was a full team move. And the 10 men take the lead. It wasn't the best of passes to Cook. Slightly under here, that's for sure. Johnson in there to Awani. Joe Lolly. Wrong foot Tomiyasu. Bury it! Ah, in the stand! Not the goal! Come on, keep going, says the manager. Oh, it was wild from Joe Lolly. Maybe I should have taken a touch to settle myself, but I felt like if I did, Tomiyasu would have come across and gotten to me. Oh, that was a great chance. They haven't adjusted their backline, Arsenal. They are playing 3 at the back now. Didn't go well for Newcastle when they did that when Trippier got sent. Although they did, to be fair to them, pull it back to 2-2 Newcastle before we then won it late on. If I get 1 goal back in this game, it will only be an equaliser. But, oh my God, look at it open up. And Tyler Cook just can't get his feet sorted. Now he's hurt, is he? He's stayed down. Not good news. We are about to head into the January transfer window, though. So we certainly were thinking of signing some centre mids. I might need to sign an extra centre mid because he's still down, Cook. Mighton will turn and look to get this down the line, but it's poor. Is Cook okay? No, he's not. Our future star is having to come off with what looked like a rather painful fall. I think you and I both know that that is going to be an ACL, isn't it? Ødegaard to Bukayo Saka in the box. McKenna, I don't know, was tackled. He just ran into him. Lolly! Lolly! It's poor. It's not good enough, Martinelli. Gabby! Did I get a block on that? I did with Yates. Ryan in the way. Thomas Partey not. With an equalising goal. That'll be Smith Rowe coming on. And Fabio Vieira too. Corner from the far side. Taken by Bukayo Saka. Held. Not held by the keeper. Preemptively said held. He didn't. A header wins the header at least. 1-0 down here against the 10 men still. It would be frustrating not to get anything from this game considering they've had 10 men for so long. But haven't been able to find the chance, have I really? Saka will deliver. They've not really played like they've got 10 men, Arsenal. They've still been pretty decent. Yates heads that away. McKenna with a switch out wide. I need to see the time clock. There's not long left in this game now. Joe Worrell into a header. Brennan Johnson now tucked central. Looking for Taiwo. It's a rubbish pass. That's going to be a 1-0 10-man Arsenal win. When they went down to 10, we said they're still going to have the quality to potentially get a result here. And do that, they have. 1-0 to the 10 men of Arsenal. They'll be annoyed still at Tierney for getting sent because it certainly made their life more difficult. But thankfully for him, the team has still dug deep and managed to pull out the result. Thankfully for us, a couple of the teams below us lost as well. But unfortunately, some of them won. Also, Southampton picked up a result. We are 3 points still above the relegation zone, but now down in 16th. We've only lost 7 games, which is less than even 9th placed Arsenal, who we just lost to. But we've drawn too many and not won enough. And we're relying rather heavily on Taiwo for goals, I think. 12 for him, 4 for Lolly, 2 for Johnson, none in the lead for Graben, 1 for Worrell, 1 for Yates, 1 for Cook, and 1 for Aida. How long's Cook going to be out for? I forgot about that. You knew it! You absolutely knew it. Torn ACL, out for 7 months. Oh, that's infuriating. Well, we were going to sign 2 centre mids in January anyway. Now we're definitely going to do it. Or do I move Yates into midfield, put Panzo in for now, and then when what's his face comes in, Niakate just goes into the middle there. That might be the way to do it. Move Yates into midfield to be that defensive player in there for now. Palace in a 4-3-3. Vicente Waita in goal. Of course, Wayne Hennessy has left the club. Nathaniel Klein at right back. Joachim Anderson, Mark Gay, Tyrek Mitchell. James MacArthur, Will Hughes and Iberechi Eze. Of course, Conor Gallagher going back to Chelsea. Jordan Ayew on the right. Wilf Zaha on the left. And Christian Benteke through the middle up top. Otton Edouard is available on the bench if they want to use him, as is Mateta. Michael Elise on the bench too. So we've got some game changes there for sure. We've had to move things around a bit because of injury and fatigue. So Larea on the right again. Yates in midfield. Panzo into the starting lineup at centre-back. And Johnson has gone into cam because, well, Lolly was knackered. So we brought Larea in on the right. And then Johnson moved him central. This one's probably going to be quite tough. But it is such an important game given the nature of the league table. We started the season really brightly, but we have been falling further and further towards that relegation zone. We haven't won since that game against Newcastle yesterday. And in general, in 17 games so far, we've only won 4 of them. That needs to improve if we're to stay in the Premier League for sure. So does Lewis Graben's bloody passing. That was a really simple 3-yard sideways pass to play. He's only got the balls to win out of Hader. Benteke is going to win it. No real surprise there. But we have been able to get the ball back again, despite Lewis Graben getting bumped off it there. Brennan Johnson, nice smart turn, trying to play the pass. Tackled before he can. Whilst initially we started the season well, we are finding it more and more of a challenge as the games go by. Bring on that January transfer window and some improvements to the squad, that's for sure. Into Benteke. Nice ball through the gap. Well read by Joe Worrell, though. Larea just trying to get rid of it without losing it. Look at the space out wide. Oh, what a god-awful pass that was. I need some better players because I'm really struggling now. Oh, Zaha punishes us. What a terrible pass. Trying to play that all the way out to the right-hand side. I need some more quality in midfield. I really desperately do. Thankfully, this is the last game we're going to play before we add some of that quality to the midfield. So we're going to have the chance to improve the squad before the next game against Leicester, which will be a replay of the first game of the season and give us an early indication of how far the side might well have come this year. We got destroyed against Leicester when we played them in the first played game of the season by 3-0 back at home. It's not going to be easy having to travel to the King Power, but I'm hoping that we show at least some signs that we've moved forward as a team and aren't as bad as we were on that day. But we haven't been great recently, and if we do lose this here against Palace, it's really going to put us in a tough spot with a relegation zone looming over our shoulder. Larea inside to Lewis Graben. Brennan Johnson is there. Through that gap is Taiwo. He turned well. Actually spun really nicely with close control. It just happened to be two defenders stood next to him, ready to take it off him when he did. Oh, goals have been hard to come by of late. Taiwo Awoniyi seems to go through phases. He won't score for a little while. Then he'll bag a hat-trick or a brace. And then we're back to not really getting much again. And he's my only real goal scorer, as we've looked at earlier. So I really need to get someone else to play alongside him, which is what the plan is for January, of course, with Gonzalo Ramos. Yates can't get that round the corner, looking for the breaking Lewis Graben. Zaha read that, thank you, and we'll win it back. Oh, that was them tackling me, not my pass. Worrell, I'll have to use the goalkeeper here. Strugs, really strugs at the minute. As far as side of just running out of puff. The fixture list in December has been so brutal, with the games in close proximity to one another, and we just haven't had the quality or depth to really deal with them, and the fixtures have been getting worse and worse throughout the month. Looking forward to actually having a bit of a break in the middle of January, provided we don't go on a desperately impressive FA Cup run. And actually, I'd rather not go on. Now that we're down near the relegation zone, I think I'd rather not go on an FA Cup run and just purely concentrate on Premier League football, because we need to ensure our survival. There's no point getting to the quarterfinals or semi-finals of the FA Cup if you don't stay in the bloody Premier League, is the Graben forward to Taiwo. He's in. It has opened up for Taiwo. The defender couldn't sort his positioning out. Taiwo Awoniyi equalises. If anyone's going to score for us at the minute, it's going to be him. And finally today, we do have a goal. And it is him. 1-1. Brennan Johnson. I don't want to just shoot for the sake of shooting. Only if it actually opens up for me. Because I don't want to get caught on the counter-attack and end up losing the ball. And another goal. Yates. Quite happy just taking my time here. Nuno da Costa. Out wide from Maheda to Zande Silva, who will tuck that back, looking for Awoniyi and find him. From the edge of the box. Oh, it was headed towards that far top corner. But the athleticism of Vicente Waita denies us a late winner. We will take the point. With the way that this episode has gone, really pleased not to have lost all three, to be honest. Desperately frustrated not to get something from a game against 10-man Arsenal. Oh, but Bournemouth have gone and won against West Ham. That's not great for us. The point moves us up the table, but how tight is it for this relegation battle now? With Leeds up to 17, Bournemouth up to 15, Fulham look doomed. They've only won one game in 20. We've only won 4. We are 4 points clear of the drop now. That point has moved us slightly further away. God, that was important. Oh, with the January transfer window on the horizon now, and as we'll advance into it, we will be receiving some new men into the squad. New men that that went well, didn't it? New men that are vitally important. New squad monthly report. Samba leaves. Drager leaves. Pre-contract arrival. Moussa Niakate's in. Surridge leaves on loan. Fornal leaves on loan. Pre-contract arrival. Julian Biancone is in. Zande Silva leaves us on loan. Lyle Taylor leaves us as well. Cafu saying he wants the minutes. He'll still get a decent amount of football, but for the time being, he's not going to get a look in. Niakate into the starting lineup. Panzo onto the bench in there. Biancone will come into the bench as well. Now, Biancone can play at centre-back, but he's going to be more of a squad player than anything else, isn't he, for the time being? Drop him in there. Right, so I'm going to look to get a striker in, and I think that's going to be Gonzalo Ramos. We definitely want a winger. Not sure yet who that's going to be, and we definitely want some centre mids. Now, I'll mention this at the beginning of the next episode as well, but Joe Aribo is heavily linked with, and maybe even by the time you see this or tomorrow's episode, has been announced as a new Southampton signing. So that's probably going to make him, for us, unrealistic. We probably won't go for him. Lewis O'Brien was still very much interested in. And with the nature of Cook's injury, I might look for a loanee centre mid as well. Unfortunately, Morgan Gibbs-White is a player that is still on loan in this save. Really annoyed that I missed a couple of the... It shouldn't let me loan him, will it? Yeah. I missed a couple of the loans in the changing of all the squads. Some I did, some I missed. They weren't listed on Transfermarkt as going back to the parent club, which is the website I use to update all the transfers. So annoyingly, I can't go out and get Morgan Gibbs-White this window. But we will look to get Gonzalo Ramos. He's absolutely my main striker target because Forest are linked with him in real life and have been for a few months now. Keelan Davis I'll take off. I'm not interested in Keelan Davis. Neco Williams is annoyingly one of the other one of the other players that has been loaned out IRL and not gone back for this save. But with the arrival of Biancone, that means that at least we have another option out wide. And with Larea still being here, or did we loan out? No, it was Drager we loaned out. With Larea still being here, we'll use Larea for the rest of the year. We'll look to move Larea on IR in this save and then bring Neco Williams in next year. And I might do the same with Morgan Gibbs-White. And we'll look to move on. Well, I'm going to try and sell Jack Colback in this window. But now with Cook's injury, don't know. We'll just play it by ear. But there's certainly a lot of work still to be done, despite the new signings that have come in there. Has the FA Cup been drawn? We've got Norwich at home. It's a winnable game, absolutely. It's not as easy as I hoped it might be. January might be split into two. We shall wait and see. That will do us for this episode, though. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop the video a like if you've enjoyed and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And let me know your feedback in the comment section for potential transfers. By the time you see this, I will have already recorded the next episode for January. But clearly, we still need talent throughout the squad. So any transfer suggestions you continue to leave me today will be taken into account for January. Sorry, for the summer and moving forward for the rest of the season. So please do continue to leave me that feedback. Jordan Ayew, who we've just played against, has actually now left Crystal Palace and gone to, is that Internacional of Brazil? Well, it's not in this list, annoyingly. Whatever. We'll have a look at that later. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.